The first sign of trouble wasn't a news story. It wasn't a news story. There was no sound. Late-night strategy teams could no longer use the elevators at Amazon's offices in Seattle. The 14th floor's busy war rooms, which used to be were global. Shipping routes were recalculated in real time, went dark. There were no leaks or reports, just a small change. Executives stopped planning to hold talks in Seattle in the future. The blow then came. Amazon's global leaders suddenly said that the company would be moving its base outside of the United States. Not a second site for show or a satellite expansion. The world command structure, operations, logistics, finances, and the place where executive decisions are made were all moved to another country. Taxes, but not just any taxes, are the reason. This was a politically charged, economically disastrous, and globally retaliated trade war that changed how international companies decide whether to stay in business. In the process, it made the biggest online store in the US do something that no one could have imagined: leave right away and don't look back. Please click the like button before we go on to show your support and help us beat YouTube's system. It wasn't Amazon that started it. It started with a rule about trade. A new government started what it called a patriotic trade revolution. In January 2025, huge tariffs were put on all kinds of goods, from Chinese tech to European medicines to Canadian raw materials. The de minimis rule, which let low-value goods into the country duty-free, was suddenly taken away. That rule was important to Amazon. It let millions of third-party sellers from other countries fill its market with cheap electronics, accessories, and clothes, all of which were sold at very low prices with very thin profit margins and sent out through highly optimized supply chains. All of those things are now subject to savage tariffs of up to 145%, based on where they come from. It seemed like Amazon's price advantage went away overnight. Suddenly, rivals from other countries who didn't work in the US had an edge. Their prices were lower, shipping went more smoothly, and their profits were safe. In Amazon had to deal with a legislative standoff. The numbers were run by top leaders in boardrooms all over Seattle. After that, they ran them again. The math was very harsh. It was thought that Amazon would lose more than $13 billion in profits in the next 36 months if nothing changed. They changed everything. Project Silver Compass was the name of it. Its goal was also very bold: find a new host country, move Amazon's global offices, and start over with the map of global e-commerce. This wasn't just an idea. Within a few weeks, Amazon's internal moving team, which was led by Vincent Chow, who used to be the global operations chief, started looking at a short list of countries. The standards were easy to see. There should be no or low tariffs, a good tax system, global neutrality, high-tech infrastructure, and stable government. 4 places made the short list: Malaysia, Singapore, Ireland, Canada, and the UAE. Singapore was fast, free, and all about business. Ireland had already shown that it could easily take in big businesses. Canada offered cultural proximity and trade flexibility between the two countries. The UAE, on the other hand, had no corporate tax and no political interference, which made it a safe haven for international companies. Amazon started secret talks with officials in all 4 countries behind closed doors. They wanted to make sure that thousands of workers would get tax breaks, exemptions for data security, and faster residency. One deal stood out. The UAE is said to have offered a package that included 10 years of no taxes, a sovereign data treaty, a custom-built global logistics district in Dubai, and fast relocation for up to 40,000 workers and their families. At the same time, things were getting worse at home. The media learned about Amazon's test plan to put tax surcharges right on product pages so customers could see how much trade policy was costing them. Response from the White House was very strong. The press secretary for President Trump said that Amazon was hurting American interests. Allies in Congress called for illegal action to be taken back. After a private meeting with the president, Jeff Bezos is said to have said, "If you make it impossible to operate here, we will operate somewhere else." After that, there was quiet. No more news stories. There were no more comments from Amazon's top managers. After June, there are no more talks planned in Seattle. And on May 6, 2025, Amazon revealed what no one could have imagined. It would move its world headquarters to a different country. Before we go on, please click the subscribe button to show your support for the program. The effect on the economy was strong and quick. At first, Wall Street was confused. When the news came out, Amazon stock fell 5%. However, it rose again when experts realized that lower taxes and tariff-free trade could save the company money in the long run, making up for the short-term problems. It was a tragedy for Seattle, though. Tens of thousands of workers had to decide whether to move. Once boosted by Amazon's presence, housing prices started to fall. Small businesses that did well with customers coming in from Amazon shut down. Officials in the city rushed to fill in gaps in their plans for tax income. And Amazon was already sending its first group of senior teams to Dubai. The company was making a copy of its data system on land owned by the government in Abu Dhabi. Cloud engineers were learning about laws that apply to localizing data, Islamic banking, and labor laws in the Gulf. It was planned to install solar panels and self-sorting equipment at fulfillment centers in Bahrain and Oman. Other businesses were paying close attention as Amazon crossed borders and stopped being an American company. Amazon could leave the US if they could, so why couldn't they? Already, Apple has started to ask for lower tariffs on Chinese parts. A memo that was leaked warns that if tariffs stay in place, Apple may have to restructure its foreign supply operations. Tesla has asked for different tax rules in Indonesia, where it is building a battery plant that is not regulated by U.S. law. Walmart has started to rethink how it sources goods from other countries in order to make its supply chain more flexible for the future. Amazon is moving its offices, but the exodus is more than that. It's a statement of freedom from the company. It's also a wake-up call for the U.S. The consequences of turning trade into a weapon without a plan for them are now being felt by Washington. The tax strategy that was supposed to punish China, boost domestic production, and show that the U.S. is the world's leader in politics has instead created a void that other countries are eager to fill. Tech ministers are quietly happy in Dubai, Singapore, and Dublin. They know what took place. The most powerful company in the U.S. just bought something from them instead of the U.S. government. They are also getting ready for more. People are already praising Amazon's new headquarters as a digital special economic zone. This means that AI robotics and quantum supply chain optimization can be created there without having to follow American rules. Research labs are being set up by universities close to the new headquarters. Regional governments are cutting down on red tape and improving facilities. Amazon's employees are spreading out. Some teams are moving to other countries. Others are getting new training. Engineers, economists, and designers from Asia, Africa, and Europe are being hired to take the company into its next era. This is the start of a new international talent pipeline. In the U.S., the reaction is getting worse. There should be a probe, say the senators. Labor groups say that Amazon has betrayed them. Consumer groups want the federal government to stop what they call tax-fueled offshore escapes. It's too late now. That was it, Amazon. In its wake, a very important question hangs in the air. What does it mean for a business to be American? Trade barriers are more than just taxes. They can set off events if America is no longer the best place to do business in the New World Order. A huge one was just pulled by Amazon.